Welcome back to the Daily Dose of Current Events podcast. My name is Aditya.
And my name is Prithav. Every week we like to talk about current events, but with a twist. For example, although this show will always revolve around current events, we like to manipulate the ways current events are covered in very unique, entertaining, and digestible ways, which is how we implement twists into this show.
With that said, 2024 has been a turbulent year for current events so far. This is episode 3 of the Daily Dose of Current Events podcast for March 7th, 2023. And everybody make sure you hang on tight because this is going to be a crazy episode. Because next up on January 5th, Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 had a malfunction because right before they landed, one of the emergency exit doors unexpectedly flew off, which started to suck people's belongings out the door. Then, days later, things were recovered, such as people's phones and the emergency door itself. One woman's phone was recovered by a pedestrian, and the funny thing is that it was still working and didn't break, all because of the phone case that was on it. If anybody wants the exact phone case that was on the phone that was recovered, because personally I do, it's called the Spigen Cyro Armor case, you can find it on Amazon for $25. Keep in mind that's Spigen with a G. Now pre-top with the next topic. He has...
Thanks for that interesting story, Aditya, but for what I'm about to tell you guys will think that is normal. Also, on January 5th, a man from Alabama crashed his car into a Bass Pro Shop and then started cannonballing into the fish tank over 20 times. His wife told news reporters that he was just going through another one of his episodes. Well, no kidding.
In other news, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was released from prison because the state let her have parole after serving 75% of her sentence. From all the news sources that I've looked at, it seems that she's enjoying all the fame, and if you've been living under a rock, Gypsy Rose Blanchard went to prison for killing her mother, but her mother was making her take medicine for years that made her paralyzed from the waist down, and to think that this has only happened in January is still mind-boggling.
Diabra Redden, a 30-year-old individual. He was in court facing charges for some petty crimes, but after being sentenced, he thought that it was a little too harsh for him. He leaped over the bench, tackled the judge, and engaged in a physical altercation with court officials. Redden was charged for attempted murder, battery on a protected person, battery of an officer, and other charges. Despite all the injuries, the judge returned to work shortly after the incident. The attack and its aftermath received significant media coverage. The funny part is, when he went to court for the second time, the same exact judge was there giving him the sentence.
As you can see, from the taste of information that we've gotten about 2024, there's no doubt that even though only such a short span of time has passed, this year's definitely going to end up being one of the more crazier ones, but I think this will end up for the better because the information we got was a mixed bag. However, I do think that 2024 will still end up being better than 2023 for that reason. If you like to listen to more podcasts or find content as interesting as this one, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Herricks Studios. No spaces, capital H and S. You can find this podcast on your favorite app by searching for Herricks Studios. If you'd like to leave us a review, please do so on Apple Podcasts, and we might read it on the show. This podcast is a production of Herricks Studios with Mr. Heit and the Content Creation Foundation's 8th grade elective. The views and opinions expressed in these recordings do not necessarily reflect the views or position of the Herricks School District.
That's going to do it for episode 3. Hope to see you guys next time.